Okay, so we're going to be looking over expanding a single bracket. Hopefully most of you guys should already be alright with this, but we're just going to go over it just so you're not confused at any point, especially later on when we go on to double brackets. So I've got quite a lot of examples to get through, and they sort of slowly progress in difficulty. So let's just go for it. Okay, so first one, we've got 3 bracket x plus 2. So one way to sort of visualize doing these is from the 3, you want to draw kind of like claw thing. So that means they're being multiplied. So I've got 3 times x, which is just going to be 3x. And then I've got 3 times positive 2, so it's going to be positive 6. So our next one then, I've got 4 times b, so that's just going to be 4b. And I've got 4 times minus 3. So that 4 is a positive, that 3 there is a negative, so that means this is going to be negative, and then 4 times 3 is just 12. That is one easy way to think about when we've got positive and negatives. First figure out, is it going to be positive and negative, and then just multiply the numbers. Okay, next one. So here I've got 2 times 4y. So firstly, I'm just going to do 2 times the 4. And that's going to be 8. And so 2 times 4y will just be 8y. And then 2 times positive 1 is going to give us a positive 2. Okay, so 6 times 3m. Well, 6 times 3 is going to give us 18. So 6 times 3m will be 18m. And then 6 times minus 5, well, because again, I've got a positive here with a negative. That's going to make a negative number. And then 6 times 5 is 30. Okay, so I've got 4 times 3, which is just going to be 12. And then 4 times minus 3b. So first, I've got positive 4 times negative, so that's going to be negative. Then 4 times 3 is 12, so 4 times 3b is going to be 12b. And these two things can't come together because of that b. Since that doesn't have a b, they're completely different things, even though the number's the exact same. Okay, so 5 times 2 is going to give us 10. 5 times positive 4ab. So firstly, 5 times 4 is going to give us 20. So 5 times 4ab is going to be 20ab. Okay, so now this is where we're going to start seeing some squares. So x times x is x squared. X times 6 will be just plus 6x. M times 3m. That 3's got no number to multiply with, so it just stays as 3. And then the m times the m makes m squared. M times minus 2 is going to give us minus 2m. Okay, so here I've got negative 3b. So I've got negative 3b times 2. Well, firstly, remember, I've got a negative here, and then this is a positive. So a negative times a positive is going to give me negative. Then I'm going to look at my numbers. So 3 times 2, that's going to give me the 6. So 3b times 2 would be that 6b. And then I've got negative 3b times negative 4b. Well, here I've got a double negative, so that's going to make a positive. Then 3 times 4 is going to give us 12. And then I've got that b and the b, so b times b, so that's going to be b squared. So next one then, I've got 5 times m, so that is just going to be 5m, and then 5 times positive 3n, so 5 times 3 is going to give us 15, and then that n sits there. And then I've got that plus 6m, which I've just left alone. So I should have said at the start, when you do have this little extra bit on the outside, you want to deal with your brackets first. Think BODMAS. The expanding out for our brackets part, that comes under the multiplication bit, because we are just multiplying. So we deal with any multiplication first, then we deal with any addition. And realistically, this question should have said expand and simplify. So the next thing we do, we want to collect our like terms. So I've got 5m plus 6m. So I just add the numbers together. So 5 add 6 is 11. So it's going to be 11m. And then nothing joins that 15n. Okay, last little set, I believe. Yep. And so this one, we got a bit more stuff going on. So let's just work through this slowly but surely. So I've got 4 times 4a. Well, 4 times 4 is 16, so 4 times 4a is going to be 16a. I've got 4 times minus 3. So I've got positive times negative, so that's going to make a negative. And then 4 times 3 is 12. And then I do the same over here. So I've got a positive 2 times a. So that's going to be plus 2a. And then positive 2 times 6. So that's going to be plus 12. And then I want to collect our like terms together. So I've got 16a plus 2a. So that's going to be 18a. And then I have negative 12 plus 12. And in fact, that's just going to cancel each other out to make 0. So that's my final answer done. Okay, and last question. I've got 3 times 2b, which is just going to be 6b, because 3 times the 2 gives me 6. So 3 times 2b will be 6b. I've got 3 times minus 5, so a positive and a negative is going to make a negative. So then 3 times 5 is going to be 15. And then I have a negative 3. Now be careful, this negative here, a lot of people forget when there is a negative at that point. You must always make sure we remember it. So I've got negative 3 times 6b. So to start off with, I've got a negative times a positive, so that's going to make a negative. And then 3 times 6 is 18, so 3 times 6b is going to be 18b. And then I've got negative 3 times negative 10. So I've got a negative and a negative, so that makes a positive. And then 3 times 10 is 30. And now I want to collect my like terms. So I've got 6b minus 18b. So 6b minus 18b is going to make negative 12b. And then negative 15 plus 30 is just going to make plus 15. And that's it on expanding single brackets. Let me know if there are any issues or if there's anything you want a little bit more elaborated on. And yeah, good luck with the questions.